This is the plaintiff, Roy. He says the defendant posted photos and articles on a website he built, defaming him and hurting his reputation. None of the accusations are true. The websites are accessible all over the world. And the defendant knew the things he posted weren't true. He's here suing this malicious man for the $5,000 he's now owed because he's been horribly defamed. This is the defendant, Eve. He says he was hired by a lawyer to build websites. And he admits the guy posted mean things about the plaintiff. But how's that his fault? He just builds a website for a client, then turns the website over to him. He tried to take down the accusations, but the lawyer that hired him changed the passwords. His beef is with the guy who hired him, and that's who he should sue if you ask him. He's accused of spreading lies.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Roy, you're suing Eve for $5,000 in defamation because, according to you, he is posting all kinds of things that are untrue and unflattering. Tell me what's going on.
This dates back to about 2013 when I was living in Israel. I was advocating for internet safety amongst children, and I had an idea to sort of like copy the same version of To Catch a Predator, and it was a one-man show.
How long was your show on the air?
Well, it wasn't a show. I would do it in cooperation with the media. It wasn't like the same.
I don't know what that means. Was your show on the air?
It wasn't. It wasn't a show.
Okay.
It was where if somebody of high profile were to be apprehended,
right,
then they would do an item on the news or whatever social media.
So what was your role? What would you do? I don't get it.
Oh, I would be the one to actually text the people when they would post profiles of children. People would solicit from me, not knowing that I'm me, thinking that I was either a 13-year-old girl, a 14-year-old boy,
Was there
whatever.
a camera when they showed up?
Oh, yes, definitely, sure.
Okay. Who hired the cameraman?
I was the cameraman.
You were the cameraman?
Yes.
All right. And then you would take the case to the authorities or to the TV station?
The authorities would be given a heads up, and they would wait in the area, and they would arrest the people.
Okay. So
when they
how
came.
did this have anything to do with a TV show?
Okay.
So would it end up on the air?
Certain cases.
And you would get paid for that?
No. Everything
so
was
why were you
volunteer
doing
basis.
this?
It's a good thing to do.
Okay.
It just was
so
a chain of events.
So you would do it for the good feeling that you were doing something correct, and then
right,
you would give it to the authorities always, and to the television stations how often?
Well, if there was somebody like, for example, a lawyer that was arrested or a school teacher, then they would
Was there ever a lawyer or a school teacher arrested?
Too many.
Okay. How long were you doing this?
From November 2013, actually a little bit earlier than that, until December 2014, a little bit over a year.
Okay. And then why did you stop?
Because I just, some guy ran me over and I was getting threats, and I just decided to call it quits. It was just overwhelming. I didn't think that I would open a can of worms that would be...
Okay. So then what happens?
So I'm American. I was living over there as with dual citizenship. So I came back over here. And shortly after I got back over here, I started getting people that know me saying, hey, I got a message from somebody in my email box. Even my mom in the family business was getting emails saying, here's the website exposing him for what he really is, a murderer, an escaped convict, crazy stuff.
Okay, can I see those emails?
I don't have the emails that were sent to my family.
Calling you a murderer and an escaped convict? You don't have those?
No, I don't have those. I just have the websites that they would forward it to. The defendant didn't send those emails. Okay,
but who did?
His clients.
Okay.
Providing a link to the websites that...
Are the websites still up?
Oh, yes, they are. There's plenty of websites.
Give me one of them.
On the section of the injunction that I...
Okay, why don't you just hand me the website? If you have it written down somewhere,
yeah, I do. Hold
it's
on
easier,
1 second.
yeah. So, Eve, what do you do for a living?
I'm a website development.
A website developer. So you were hired by whom?
Last name? I don't remember last name.
How much money did you get paid to build these websites?
Like 3,700.
And then he told you what to put on them, and you went ahead and put them?
This time he asked me to change. Sometimes he asked me to add photos he sent me by email.
Okay, so you were the one who was putting the content onto the website. He would tell you what to put on, and you would put it on.
Yes, that's my job.
So, but you saw, I've seen some of these sites, and I know that you saw that it was a personal smear campaign, right?
Yeah.
Like what kinds of things was he having you put on?
Plaintiff says the defendant posted photos and articles on a website he built, defaming him. The defendant says he was hired by a lawyer to build the website, and the lawyer posted the smack talk. Let's listen.
It was some mean things.
Like what?
About his like having something to with kids and
That he's a
stuff.
pedophile,
Also, but this
right?
is
Like it was calling him a pedophile,
I think so.
calling him a self-hating gay man, right?
But this is not me. This is what my clients wants to put. This is not my website.
Right, but your client doesn't put it on, you put it on.
But
And so, you know, it's one thing when you're YouTube and you can't control what people put on. You're protected under the law. But you're actually the guy putting the stuff on.
But a lot of people put things in Facebook.
Yeah, but you're the person
but-
putting it on. You're actually participating. Like, I understand what you're saying. Your argument is, oh, Judge, I'm just a website creator. That's fine if you create a website and hand the keys over. But you're the guy actually putting on the pictures, right? And calling the guy a pedophile. You know, it's going through you.
This guy told me this is just a customer and this is his website.
Yeah, but you know
This
it's a
is
smear
no-
job. You know it's not a legitimate way. You know that the guy is paying you and you want the money. And the guy's paying you to create a bunch of sites that are specifically geared to smear one person. That's what they are. It's not a shopping site. It's not a celebrity gossip site. You know exactly what you're doing, that you're doing it and then you're putting on. He'll give you the stuff to put on. You'll look at it. You see it's really mean and or incredibly defamatory if it's not true. And then you put it all on, right?
But I am not lawyer to check everybody send me email.
How about you just stay away from that and just do real websites? You could do that, but you wanted the 3,000, right?
That
Do you
was
have an
good
email
money.
that you gave to me that was sent from who to who?
I needed some assistance from people who work in the cyber world who helped me gather this evidence.
They hacked into it?
This has been you can't
One of the
even-
things that's on these websites is that you ran for president of your condo association, didn't win, and then destroyed the place.
There was footage of me, but it's not reaching. They filed the police report. The police closed
Footage of
it.
you doing what?
I was taking my dog downstairs, for example. I have a small dog. And after I walked out of I walk out of the elevator, somebody says, the dog peed in the elevator, like on command. But then they said, no, not
What's
the
on
dog.
the just tell me what's on the camera.
There's nothing really on the camera that shows me, because what happened was it is something I was not able to, but you can see it on the county docket. Judge John Schlesinger in 2015.
My husband?
Is that your husband?
My husband.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my husband.
Okay, well then, it's a small world. Judge.
Wow. This is a first. Judge John Schlesinger what? We don't have the same name.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is this defendant on the hook for defamation for uploading this?
Absolutely. I think that he knows what he's doing and that everyone's responsible for their own actions.
Even if he doesn't have a dog in the fight and he's not the one really calling the plaintiff that.
Yeah, either way, he's responsible. He knew what he was up to, what he was doing, whether it was his dog in the fight or not. He knew what was going on.
And final word.
And I agree with what they said. I think he should have known.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
It was back in 2015. The same lawyers who are organizing everything.
Are they lawyers from Israel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hired somebody that helped me to go into the building and dismantle the security system so they could jump me.
Hired somebody that helped you dismantle the security.
No. The lawyers
Hired
knew
somebody.
somebody that was close to me that was helping me, in the catching of the people, hired this person, offered him, I think it was like $1,500.
The person who used to be close to you in Israel
Right.
and was helping you on that
They
endeavor.
flipped him.
Okay, they flipped him against you.
They flipped
for
him
money.
against me for money.
And
this gentleman, because he had access to the building, he would go and put like a ski mask or dress up like as a ghost and just figure out where the cameras were and just dismantle them. So I sued him because we had a contract.
I'm sorry, what happened in front of Schlesinger? Can you say that? Can you give me an answer in like 20 words or less?
I motioned for summary judgment, and in the end,
that was a case in front of Schlesinger. You were the
Right.
plaintiff.
I was a plaintiff.
Suing the guy for
breach of contract, really.
Okay, all right, stop. Okay, we're done with Schlesinger for the moment. All right, now, you argue to me that you have no control over stuff, but you have an email that somebody hacked into, whoever these lawyers are. Hand me the email. Let me see whether I should even be considering it. I have no idea. But I'm going to ask you about the email. No, I'm sorry. Hand it to my bailiff.
Sorry,
That's okay. Let me show you this and tell me what the backstory is to this email.
So I think he sent me some pictures and he just asked me to make it look like, because he's a lawyer, I just didn't check too much about what he tells me.
He told you in that email to do what?
To
You know the
basically
word.
just
Photoshop? That's the word in the email, Photoshop.
to edit, but
To Photoshop the pictures to make it look like he's doing something sexual to young men, right?
But
To
the
edit
thing
the
is-
facial hair on the men so that they looked younger so he could be a pedophile.
but he told me he's really, so I just like kind of believed it.
So you did
at
it,
this time,
Photoshopped
I
it.
have nothing to do with.
So you Photoshopped it.
It was a mistake, but I don't do this usually.
It was a mistake.
Like I have nothing like against him. Just
Well, no, you
just
see,
send me and I just put it for
No,
him.
you are
That's
not
for
YouTube.
me.
You need to understand the difference. See, in this country, we do protect that if you have like a platform and then your platform actually is for people to be able to load their own stuff on it, the platform can't get sued because otherwise we can't have platforms. You're not a platform. You're the guy putting the stuff on. In
What
fact,
if I put
you've
in
just read to
Facebook?
me and admitted to me that you Photoshopped it so he'd look like a pedophile because you believed the lawyer who said he was a pedophile. So you thought it was okay to Photoshop stuff. When is
Because
your
it's his
hand actually something that
responsibility.
needs monitoring? When is your actions something that needs to be on the up and up? You lose the ability to, if you just created a website and backed away and gave the guy the keys and he loaded everything, well, then you can't possibly be sued. But you're controlling what content goes on. You're putting it on.
But after he can just remove it because he has control of the website. So
Who can?
the
lawyer
guy.
who got you to
Yeah.
Photoshop the pictures? You think he's going to remove it?
But now he's
You have a separate lawsuit against him in Israel, right?
In America, actually.
In America.
But I didn't know this. I didn't realize that this is the magnitude of things until.
That's
What do you not
my
see?
something against him. It's
No, you
just
do have
he-
something against him. Let me explain to you what you have against him. Somebody asked you to make a guy look like a pedophile. You said okay and made the guy look like a pedophile.
It's not my website. It's just for him, and that's it.
Nah,
He is.
nah. You're in control. No, you're not only in control, you're a horrible person because you're taking pictures and making them look like something that you know they're not because you have the real pictures. So the guy tells you to Photoshop him because he's a lawyer. Oh, he's a lawyer. So I figured it was okay if I made those guys all look younger and I made it, Photoshopped it to look like something inappropriate was happening. And you don't think that you're doing anything? You are the quintessential definition of a guy controlling the content that goes on. And you can get sued for defamation.
Your Honor, can I add something? I do want to add something in support of what you said, just to remind you that in his statement of defense, he said that he purposefully masked the sites. He duplicated the sites, meaning that if they were removed from Google, they would show up in a different site. So he knew that there was some kind of
Vendetta. He knew that this was not creating a website.
People don't make 9 different websites set up in...
Calling people a pedophile and asking you to doctor up the photos.
And they don't ask
Verdict for the plaintiff, $5,000.
Well, the plaintiff has convinced the judge that he was indeed defamed, and she has found against you for $5,000. What do you think about that?
First of all, I don't understand where is my customer responsibility for the websites, and I feel like all the responsibility on me, even though I didn't came up with the pictures. I just got them on an email. I
doctored them. Do you feel at all guilty?
I feel like I have some responsibility, but not up to the point that I need to pay for him.
Yeah, well, you do.
What about my client's responsibility? I don't feel like I did more than just to build up the
Well, you've learned a lesson, I hope.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, okay?
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
You better watch out what you put on the web. Wow. I think some people are surprised you got what you do,
I wasn't surprised. I'm glad that she took a proactive thing and it didn't make me get upset.
So has your career really been hurt, do you think?
It's not a career, it's reputation. If your mother gets an email and on her website putting this kind of stuff, that your mother is upset, your family is upset. It's something that I don't wish anybody to go through.
Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm sorry that happened to you. Okay.
It's not your fault. You're good.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I know. No, that's for sure. Okay, Harvey.
Well, I mean, Doug, the defendant's hands are just as dirty as the person he was working for. It's almost like a Nazi saying, I just did what I was told. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.